Hello everyone, this is my review or take on how Micro Four Thirds has got me back into photography, and it's done that on a very tight budget. Here I have the Panasonic LX100. You thought I was going to go for that. We'll talk about this camera in a couple of minutes. I have the LX100 in here. This is a great little nifty case, by the way. Purchased it on eBay. Hard case, very well protects the camera. So yeah, I keep it in the case most times when it's of course not in use. That's purely because of the probably well-known dust issue that the LX100 suffers, or some users seem to suffer from. Anyway, prior to me purchasing the LX100, I used mobile phones for taking pictures. Well, there's actually, I took a lot of pictures, but none of it was photography. It was, you know, the having to take a picture just for the sake of taking a picture. Prior to that, I was using a Canon EOS 30D DSLR camera, and I had a Tamron lens for that. It was an f2.8. I think it was an 18 to 55 millimeter, which is a great setup. You know, great pictures, but the size and the physical weight of the DSLR coupled with the lens was just, you know, too much, and I didn't carry it around with me, so I never took any pictures, and it sort of soon went into a cupboard collecting dust or whatever it did, and I didn't take any pictures. So sort of last November I had the itch to get back into photography again, and you know, the LX100 was a superb, absolutely superb buy. I took this on a couple of trips last year. I went out and took loads of pictures in and around London. This helped me sort of, you know, get back into proper photography, and this time round I actually studied photography, not sort of, you know, going to college or anything, but picking up books, watching YouTube videos, watching a lot of tutorials, reading up on a lot of material that's found online. You know, in the early days of photography, for me, like you know, going back to sort of early 2000s, there was no YouTube existing back in those days. You know, finding articles was, you know, it was scarce. You know, I had to rely on the library, you know, getting books out or purchasing books, but I never did any of that. And even though back then I did use a whole host of other cameras, ranging from DSLRs to compacts, bridge cameras, from all the manufacturers. We're talking sort of Fuji, Panasonic, Canon, Sony, Nikon. Yeah, I used a whole host of cameras, but never really got into it till now. Anyway, getting back on topic, the LX100 for me has one of the best set of manual controls I've seen on any camera with built-in lens. I find it an absolute joy to use, and I think this is why it's such a popular camera, but people don't realize it's an extremely fun camera. Yeah, not sure why. Yeah, manual controls, but it's just a joy to use. Anyway, the only thing that was lacking from the LX100 was the lack of touchscreen. I know the Mark II does have it, but I won't be upgrading to the Mark II. I don't really have a need, can't justify the cost, can't justify the need for it, that's it. Anyway, you might be thinking, well, what's this camera you have here? This is the Panasonic GX80, or the GX85 as it's known in certain parts of the world. The GX80 is a Micro Four Thirds interchangeable lens camera. You can see that this in itself is extremely compact, slightly bigger than the LX100, and it comes, well, I got this with the kit lens, which is a 12 to 32 millimeter collapsible kit lens. Nifty little lens here, takes some great pictures. Anyway, I purchased this because I wanted to enable myself to, you know, have a bit more, excuse me, yeah, I wanted to be able to get a slightly longer reach. I wanted, let's face it, I wanted interchangeable lens camera, and I stuck with Micro Four Thirds. I picked up the GX80 with the kit lens. Month or two down the line, picked up the Panasonic 45-175. I think this is an f4 to f5.6. It is indeed lens, and a little nifty 25mm f1.7. Again, it's the Panasonic variants. I got all of this not on any particular sale. I purchased them all sort of separately in a space of about 3 months, but I picked all of this up for less than £550. Actually, just ever so slightly over £550. But that was still an absolutely real bargain. And this was no Black Friday, this was no January sales, no Christmas sales. I picked this up in May or June, July. You know, I just looked for bargains and they came and I snapped up the deals. I still have the LX100, as you obviously saw, and you might be thinking, well, why still keep the LX100? I can't seem to want to part with the LX100. The lens is superb. It takes some extremely sharp photos, and you know, it gives the GX80 with the lenses that I've got for it a run for its money. You know, I'll link to my Flickr page. The GX80 and the lens I have, they're no slouches. But the LX100 still takes superb images, and anybody thinking, well, 12 megapixels these days, what's that? It's more than enough for me. That's what it is, and it takes superb pictures. I think you've got to forget about the technical aspects of what a camera's capable. Just go out and actually take pictures. Anyway, before I start waffling on, I want to just go through a couple more things that I carry with me when I'm on shoots. I'm just going to make some space here. So I don't always carry the LX100 and the GX80 at the same time because, yeah, just don't. Anyway, that's a little battery charger, which is slightly larger than the battery itself and not much larger than a bleeding matchbox. Now, that allows me to charge the GX80 and the LX100 battery on the go. Luckily, both cameras use the same battery. Now, I use a power brick. Yeah, I guess that's what most people call them. I use one of these. It charges my phone. It's the same micro USB cable that also charges my phone. I get to charge my cameras. I can leave this, and I have done in a trip to Corfu. I just left the battery inside my backpack, and there it goes. It just charges. You know, carrying all of this with a couple more batteries, and I have can't show you the little table tripod I have. You know, there's another spare Panasonic battery, and I've got a little cleaning kit here, which is, you know, that's an entire setup. You know, with a tiny tripod. You couldn't ask for more from a camera system, and I think the Micro Four Thirds system is absolutely great for that. I know there's a lot of talk that, you know, it might be dying soon. Who knows? But I know, regardless of whether it's dead or dying, I'll still continue to buy Micro Four Thirds products. Whether or not I upgrade my body or get additional lens, I will continue doing that. Anyway, I hope you do as well. And any questions, comments, leave them in the comment section below. Bye.